This conference will now be recorded.
طيب السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. نبدأ. طيب كلاسنا الأول بإذن الله سبحانه وتعالى على database management system. Our first class in IT3 database management system. As I told you yesterday, it is of two chapters or two parts, 1 and 2. And fortunately, the course specification is approved as well. I will upload it after the class to the module. So we have total of 8 weeks, and you have to concern about the topics over here in this column what we are going to have, and the most important one, the last one over here. So that is will cover the assessment methods. That is quizzes. We have 2 quizzes. We have assignment, and we have 2 assessments for mid-term and final exam. So the structure over here, that is assessment methods. We have continuous assessment, quiz 1 50%, quiz 2 15% again, and assignment. So the total will be 40. We call it continuous assessment, and 30 for the mid-term. It is a type of assessment, same like the final exam. So it will be here, and this is total of 30 again, the mid-term and the final exam. Total will be 100, and you need just 65 to get pass. This material will be uploaded to you after the class or after the session. Getting back to our course, so it is an introductory to database management system, in short DBMS, and our software, that is MS Access. The practical side, it will be from the Access. You can do the practice behind me. After we finish the practice, you can do it. So our semester is summer for 1920, and let us get inside the topic. So first of all, we need to find the difference or the definition between the definition of data and the definition of information, and how can we get information from data. Opposite is not true. And last, we need to find the difference between them. If we move forward and everything is fine, then we have to get inside what is the database. But let us start by what is the data. So data, if you heard anything, this is a data. If you heard anything, this is a data. That's why data can be defined as a pure facts, pure concepts, or instructions in a formal manner. Then we call it a data. Data, a pure facts, a pure concept, or instructions in a formal manner. Pure facts like what? Any number, it is a fact. So now if we come to the examples, facts, we have names in our lives. We have, so any name, it is an example of a data, or any number, again, can be an example of data. So name can be Ahmad, can be Ali, can be Muhammad. Number can be such way like this one, 19019. This is a number, while this is a name, for example Ali. So both are facts. There is a name in our life, yes, these numbers in our life? Yes. Okay. So this is the data. Data, please, please give attention to this. Data cannot give you a full meaning by itself. Data cannot give you a full meaning by itself. What do you mean by that? Ali. Who's Ali? 1910191. What does it mean? This number of computers, is this number of students, is this number of mobiles, you cannot guess. Okay, so it is a fact there is name, it is a fact there is number, yes it is. So concepts, let us consider the student ID, UOB ID. This is a concept. Any student must have an ID. That's concept. Instructions: open the door. Which door? Open the window. Which window? You cannot guess unless I'm pointing to this window. I'm pointing to this door. Then this is instruction become a clear for me. So this is the point, please. Pure fact, pure concept, and instructions in a formal way, in a formal manner. This we call it a data. Keep in your mind, data cannot give you a full meaning by itself. Now, let us come to the representation of data. Data can be in the form of text document. So it is not a full meaning. It is just the data. It is image. Belongs to whom? We cannot guess again, unless we have a clear idea. And an audio. So this is audio. Who's the talker? Who's the presenter? Who's the owner of this audio? I cannot guess unless we will get full details regarding that. So these are types of data in text format, in an image, or in an audio. Unless it became clear, still it will be a data. So this is a definition of data. Definition of data in brief again, please, everybody. Data defined as pure facts or a concept or instruction. This is the definition of data. Fact, like name, like a number. So could not be give me a clear idea by itself. If I said Ali, who's Ali? If I'm saying this number, what does it mean? What does it represent? We cannot guess. Concept, yes, as I told you, there are many concepts. If I say table, which table? If I said record, which record? Again, we cannot guess, right? Instruction, I'm giving you an example. Do this, which one? Unless it becomes clear, so we cannot guess. We cannot guess what you mean by this instruction. Okay, then the form, the examples of data in form of text, in form of image, in form of audio, and these other forms of data. But let us stick to these three. Text, this is a text right now. In front of us, this is a text. An image, this image there for someone. But who is he? We don't know. We cannot guess. Now somebody from IT1, just he was attending this audio. Who the speaker? He don't know. About it he was talking, he don't know again. Yeah. But unless he become from IT3, one of my sections 2, 4, and 8, then this is just still remaining as a data for him. This is the data. Okay, so let us have a breathe. Let us see if this is clear for everybody before I proceed to the next terms. Is it clear? What is data? 27 students. Is it clear? Then I'll proceed to the next term, definition. So now everybody is here. Okay, 27, that is 27 students are present. So let me okay. We will move to the next terminology, the information. The difference between data and information is slightly different. Okay, so information actually comes from the data. Whenever I have data, I can form it in a way of information. So information is the meaningful of data. Keep in your mind. First of all, transforming that data in a form will be well understood. I'm getting a full meaning. Then that's an information. And let us get inside. It's an organized or classified data. Oh, we go back to the first terms, a data. So information, it will not be found from the scratch, but actually it is a data in another form. That is what? That is organized. That's what? That is classified, which has some meaningful. This is the most important. Having meaningful. So we transfer that data to a meaningful way or values for the receiver. Receiver, the listener. Okay, so information is the processed data. It is a data that have been processed in which what will help us this information in a decision taken and actions. So that's why the people running behind what? Running behind the information. Right now, the information is valuable. Valuable. So if you need an information, you have to pay. For example, for the news channels, they are ready to pay as much as possible to get the news from the sources. So information right now, it is not for free. Get in your mind. So information is an organized or a classified data. Means the information will be driven from data, will be gotten from data, which has some meaningful values. So unless it being in a very meaningful way, we cannot call it an information. Information is the processed data in which on which decision and actions are based can be taken. So for the decision to be meaningful, the process data must qualify for the following characteristics. Okay, what do you mean by that? If you want to take a decision based on some information, it have to meet this characteristics, this criteria. What is that? Timely means an updated information. Simply, before I'm getting inside, timely is updated. Say, for example, if we are talking about, for an accident. This accident happened last week. So for today, it is not an updated information because maybe many accidents happen after that. About which accident you are talking? But right now, there is a live stream from the accident place. So everybody saw the people, the damage of the cars, whatever. So this is timely. This is an updated information. Accuracy, for example, if somebody calling me on phone, there is an accident happen in this place and there is injured people, there is some dead people, there is damage, and. But if this is have been live stream through a channel. So this is trusted. This is accuracy. This is more accurate because I'm trusting this channel. Completeness, everything's front of me. Everything's front of me through this channel, through this video. So three informations, three characteristics based on the decisions. Timely, information should be available when required. Right now, I want to take the attendance, or I took the attendance for the students. Timely, right now. Accuracy, information should be accurate. Accurate means specifically, exactly. This is what we mean by accuracy. Accuracy, exact. So I'm watching everything's front of me. If there is only one person dead, for example, so I saw in front of me. This is accuracy. But if you are calling me through a phone, there is 15 people dead. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But if things is front of me, this is an information. This is an information. Completeness. So from the start of this accident till the end, everything's have been removed and the damage have been or the people have been harmed. So they have been taken to the hospital and everything's. So from A to Z, everything's front of me. Then this is an information. This is an information, complete information. So in short, information, organized and classified data. Okay, which has some meaningful values. Proving that data, it gives me a full picture, have a value, have a meaningful, I can understood something from that. Then this is an information. Information is a process data. When I'm gathering and grouping that data from here and from here and from here, this data and this data, this data. At the end, they give me the full pictures. So grouping this data in one picture, it's called process. Grouping the data. To give you full meaning of a picture, we call it process of the data. And based on that, a decision can be taken, an action can be taken. Got it? Point number one. Point number two, for the decision to be meaningful, this is trusted information. So it have to come through some filters, some characteristics. What is that? It have to be timely and updated. Accuracy, exact, completeness from A to Z. Simply. So keep this for yourself. Timely and updated information. Accuracy, exact information. Got it? Exact information. And completeness. That is simply, we can have it from A to Z. For the whole story. Completeness means whole story from A to Z. Everything's I'm recording, everything's I'm following. So these are the characteristics. Based on that, I can take a decision. Based on that, I can take an action. So for example, after this accident, the police report have been made. Then with the mistaker, this accident, who's the person, the reason of this accident. Then after collecting all this information, then what, I can take a decision. This is a mistake of Z from the people. Such a way, this is the information. This is the information. These for clarification, you will not find it within the uploaded materials. This is for explanation. That is why I need your attention and I want you to follow me during the explanation. Timely means an updated information. We can get it when I require. Accuracy, the exact information. Accuracy. Completeness, the whole picture. Everything's from A to Z when I'm talking about any project, when I'm talking about any information. And at that time, it will be information. If I go back to the terms of data, the data is a pure fact, the data is a concept, the data is instruction. There is a name, it is a fact. There is a number, it is a fact. So I want to process this data in a form of an information in another way, or in other words, how can I make this name and this number in a form of a data? If I say Ali having having an ID number 1910191. Now this is an information. Ali having ID UOB ID 1910191 or 1910191 is an UOB ID for whom? For Ali. Again, this is an information. So we transform, we process the data in information such way. Got it? So transforming, get the point, please. Transforming, grouping the data in information, then you need an application. Transforming data in information, you need an application. Got it? Now, let us come to the next slide. Over here, information is created from data. Of course, yes. Information, as I told you, it is not a separated things than data. No, information will be driven from data. But when and how? After processing. If this is data 1 and this is data 2, this is data 3. Yes, fine. Then I'm grouping all of them through a process phase, processing. Then it could give me an information or it will give me an information. So simply, if this data 1 is, for example, student ID. Yes, this is a student ID. Just now I give you an example. So let us assume this 1. Okay, then what? Then data 2, it is a name. Data 2, it is a name. Yes, who's that? Let us assume he is Ali again. He is Ali. Okay, fine. Then let us have an example of data 1, and he is Ali. Okay, data 3, let us consider it as his major. His major. Maybe he is engineer. So he is engineer. Okay, so processing the 3 informations or the 3 data. So we need what? We need an application. That application can be what? Where can I put this student ID, student name, and major? In, for example, SIS. This is an application for UOB or for any other institute. Yes, we have it. Then when I am reading, keeping all these things together under headers or columns, I said this is an ID for this student and his major is engineer. Now it is clear. Now it is very clear. So a student with this ID His measure is this one. Now it is clear. So this is the way how to process data in an information. The most important things to process data in information, you need an application. Keep in your mind. Processing data, processing data in information, you need an application. Now, this is how to transform, how to process data in information with the help of whom? With the help of diagram. Front of you, this is a diagram. Front of you, this is a diagram. Information created from a data. We have three types of data. Three types of data. A number, a name, and measure. A single one of each is called a fact. There is measure in our life, yes it is. There is names, yes it is. There is numbers, yes it is. By itself, it doesn't give me a full meaning. Number will not give me a full meaning by itself. Ali will not give me a full meaning by itself. Measure engineer will not give me a meaning by itself. I want to process all of them together to give me full meaning, to have an information. Then I need what? I need an application. For example, SIS, it is an application. We are putting these three pieces of data together to get the full information of the picture. This is a record of the student Ali or of the student having the number or the ID 1910191. So this is a record. This is a record. Right now we have what? We have the full picture of information. So hope it is clear. That is data and information. When we can get information from the data after we process the data through an application. Okay, so again, let us have okay, let us have a session of feedback. Now, is it clear? Is it clear? Okay, good, good, good. Now, what is the difference between data and information? Anybody can write or can talk. What is the difference? The difference between data and information. There is difference between them or are similar? Yes. Yeah, anybody? Difference between data only one thing. Valid. Okay. That is a fact. Why not? Good. Then this is data. What about information? Information. Anybody? Information. Very good, Mazi. result of a group of data. So data, it can be information is group of data. Okay, partner. Yeah. Okay. 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 So simply, data is a pure fact. It is a fact, and information. It will not give you a meaning by itself. It will not give you a meaning by itself. While the data that transform the processed data, information processed data. So this is simply what is the data and what is the information, and examples of each. Yes, it is. So okay, if it is clear, then let us proceed to the last slide. Is it clear? Shall I move to the next? Okay, I will move to the last slide, the database. So this is our uh, course, or major course, the database. So I want to make this slide very simple to you. Okay, that's why I want you to have corresponding of these two slides. Database, what it is. The answer, it will be the first point from here. Database, the purpose. Why the people running behind database? The purpose of the database. The purpose is so. Till we come to that. Then, from where the people get the idea of the database? That is how the database start. How the database starting as a list. Then the difficulties of the database. The difficulties I can face it from this database. And the worst case. So the consequences. The consequences of this problem. Last, what is the solution of this problem? Such way, you have to correspond point by point, please. The things will be clear for you. So the database, what it is? The database, it is a tool. So now I am using this computer as a tool to deliver you this class. But what is the purpose of this tool? To collect a data. In which way? Very organized way. Then we have the definition of the database. What is the database? What it is? It is a tool for collecting and organizing. We are concerning about information. Definitely yes. Did you get the point? What is the database? What it is? It is a tool for what? For collecting and organizing two things together. If just collecting, for example, think about the store. Just I am putting things inside. So this is, if you want to find something out of that, it will be very difficult to you. Why? Because it is not in an arranged way. It is not organized. But if I am keeping all the name under one column, all the student IDs under one column, such way, what I have, I'm having a well organized data in organized way. Then I can refer to that easily. If I'm looking for a major for a student, yes, I can get. If I am looking about, for example, an ID of the students, it is very easy for me to catch that ID of that student without any problem, because the data in an arranged way, in a formal way. So things is very easiest for me. Yes, it is, because it is an organized manner of data. Yes, it is. So we are section 4. Okay, let us consider it any. So under the student ID, because it is organized way, so all the student ID in one column, all the student name English language in one column, all the student name in Arabic language in another column. By this way, the major will be somewhere here. Yes, it is. So this is an organized way. Getting back to our slide. So the database is a tool for what? For collecting and organizing information. Then what is the purpose of this database? Only one thing. I want to store the data. I want to store the information. That's it. That's it. So only one purpose of this data, to save our information. But this is a generally information about what? About everything. That's why database for everything, for people, for products, for items, for students, for employees, for cars, for mobiles. Yes, information regard anything. We can keep it in a form of database. But this is very important. Point number 3. Any data can be kept in form of database. The answer is no. Any data can be kept in a form of the database? Of course not. Why? Because the idea of the database, it will become in a list. So think about it. A list, a list, it is a structure of column and row. Column vertically, row horizontally. Then I can transfer this data in database. Again, please let me get to this slide. I made it to make the things easiest for me. How the databases start? If I have a list, column and row, simply table, then I can think later to make this data as a database. This is the idea. Okay, so the database can be traditional database in a form of, or this list can be traditional database in just Microsoft Word, or just can be in Excel, Word, or Excel, normal table. But that normal table will take us to some difficulties. Some difficulties. So when that can occur, these difficulties, when this list become bigger and bigger. So if I have more columns, more rows day by day, huh? Think about, for example, normal table in Word for Lulu, Lulu Hypermarket. They are keeping the items. They are keeping the prices. They are keeping the date of production, date of uh, expiration by this way. So day by day, I'm having new products, new items. Okay, so this list become very huge. Then it is very difficult to deal with that. Difficult is to deal with this task. It will become very hard to be understood for me. When? When we have more items, when we have more rows, when we have more columns. Where it will take us, the consequences. The consequences, we call it dead situation. Means this is the limit. We cannot move behind that. So we call it limitation. Limit, that means you cannot go behind that. Cannot go behind that. For example, right now I'm inside my office. I have only one way to get out and in, right? But if I'm trying to go from, for example, backside to my chair, there is a wall. So this is the limit of my office. I cannot cross it. A limit. A limit means you cannot cross that. So the limitation of this traditional list, when I'm looking for example, piece of information out from the whole, it will be very difficult for me. And even I can get rid of, forget it, forget it, forget it. Simply, if I'm looking for a simple item price between all these things inside the Lulu, it's very difficult, really very difficult. Okay. Again, another example, if you are thinking about the civil records of ROP, police, royal police. So if they are looking for someone, if he is citizen or if he is foreigner, if they are not having a proper database, oh, very difficult to deal with that task. Okay, so now we will come to the last. What is the solution for these consequences? There is only one solution to have database management system. Transferring this list to an electronic list. So what is the useful of that? The useful of that, for example, right now, if I am writing 1910246, huh? I am having an electronic system. Who this ID? Is Khalid? I think so. So an information will come regard Khalid, everything's front of me, just by the help of whom? By the help of this electronic system. So it solved my problems completely, right? So simply this is what? This is a database. To make this slide easiest for me, I have to ask myself this question. First, what is the database? It is a tool for two things: collecting and organizing information. The purpose, the goal of this database, saving information about anything, people, products, orders, as I told you. Okay, any data can be in form of database? No, unless column row wise. Column row wise, we call it list. This is in a computer or even paper based, it is just a list. It is not an electronic system. So it is a list, normal list. Then you have to think this list can be a database. Why? Because this list later it will have some difficulties. How? It will be very hard to understand, especially when I have more columns, when I have more rows. This we call it grossing of this list. The worst case, the consequences of that list, it will take me to dead situation, dead point. So we call it limitation. Limitation means you cannot go behind. You cannot cross it. You have to stop here. Halas, this is dead. And there's any solution for that? Of course, yes, because any problem having a solution. So the solution for alphabetics, that is DBMS, short for database management systems. That is why right now most of the people running behind the database management system, and I'm going to stop here. So now sessions is yours. If you have any difficulties, no, in this is just an example. So is it clear? No need for comment outside the class topic. Yes, comment within the topic only. Is it clear, everybody? Okay, I have to stop the recording here. Anybody having some? Okay, good. Okay, good, good. So I'm going to stop here because I will upload this material and it will be very heavy for some people. I'm stopping the recording. If you have anything, WhatsApp group or whatever, but I'm stopping the recording. Then we complete.